All right, that's the wrong one. All right, I'm not sure what the hell happened there. Somehow something got messed up. All right, so it's just that one got messed up. Whatever, I don't care. All right, but welcome to the show. Tonight is a very special episode of Blossom, where we will be talking to Flying Rich. My name is John Crump. I'm an investigative journalist, and today we are sponsored by the wonderful people at JM4 Supply. In fact, they're so wonderful. I am going to put on my JM4 hat for the whole entire show because I am repping JM4 Supply. And you can too by using code CRUMP and getting $10 off and free shipping at JFD Supply, not JM4 Tactical. Check out JM4 Tactical too. They just launched a new website. It looks pretty cool. But JSD Supply is the sponsor, the title sponsor of the show. Thank you, Jordan Vinro, St. Jordan Vinro. And we have some very special people that have watched the show like recently, but I'll tell Rich about that offline because that's not for you guys to hear yet. Maybe never. But we'll talk about that. So let's bring on the man of the hour. The show is all about Rich. It's not about anyone else. We're going to be taking Flying Rich questions all night for about an hour because I got some other stuff I need to get done. Work never stops. And then I will go do that. So without further ado, let's introduce the man of the hour, the one, the only, the flying one, Mr. Flying Rich. What's up?
How's it going, man?
What's clapping for?
I don't know, just big announcement for me, so yay me.
All right, so get that out of the way.
I don't know if that's a question. We got a question from Charles, and I don't know if I want to pronounce that last name because I'll probably do it injustice. Has anyone tried putting modern car wax on a feed ramp?
Actually, I had heard people do that.
You're talking about like ceramic-based wax, or what are we talking about? Ceramic, graphene?
No, they use like McGuire's. And it kind of,
yeah, I used the McGuire ceramic.
Yeah, well, it said it worked. I'm not sure. Whatever. All right, guys. So let's go ahead. So the way it's going to work is if you have a question for Flying Rich, because this is Ask Me Anything Flying Rich edition, like I did on my show and like Dark did on his show. We are going to be talking about anything and everything. Nothing is off limits to ask. Whether we answer it or not, that's a whole different story. So let's get some questions rolling here.
So do you want the people start with a cue so you know it's a question?
That doesn't matter. You're doing that because you were, because you can like put them up on the screen. I pretty much have the screen right in front of me. Okay, so let's do this. I am gonna start out with the first question here. Rich, how the flying one, Flying Rich? You are a great pilot, which a lot of people don't know. We kid around that you crash a lot, but you are a great pilot. Oh my God, that's a great question. Evil FD.
Okay.
I'm going to go ahead and bookmark that one.
Thanks for asking that.
Yeah. You know what? Let's start with that. I'll throw in my question later. Evil FD asks, I've been
First
waiting.
off, Yankee Marshall.
Okay. Again,
Oh, you want to read the question?
This also goes on the audio only version.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
So that might be a good idea. Okay, I'll ask my question, and if you give a super chat on Flying Rich's channel, you can get bumped up in the question. So that's on Flying Rich's channel where you get bumped up. I can't even tell who does a super chat from what channel. So any channel, but Flying Rich would be good. Okay, so let me see here. Evil SD asks, I've been waiting since Monday. Rich, what are your thoughts on the Yankee Marshal?
All right. So listen to my whole answer because it's probably not going to be what you think. I think the Yankee Marshal is kind of a jerk, but he's a good jerk. Maybe I gave the whole answer too quick. I think a lot of he's kind of the YouTube version of a shock jock in a way. But you know what? When it comes to doing the right thing, the guy does the right thing. I know a couple of people that he raised money for them, like Patrick, Babyface P. He helped raise money for his dog because he had a GoFundMe to get surgery for his dog. So, in other things like that, I think even Matt Hoover, I think he pimped the GoFundMe and maybe the Give Send Go for Matt Hoover. So, I've had a personal beef with the Yankee Marshal, but I'll tell you what, I think he may be a jerk. Kind of like what I used to say about Ed Koch. And if nobody knows who Ed Koch is, you're probably not as old as I am or a New Yorker. Ed Koch was a liberal Democrat mayor of New York. And even Ed Koch said, if you agree with 7 out of 10 things I say, vote for me. If you agree with 9 out of 10 things I say, get your head examined. And he would shoot off his mouth and say something crazy, and then the next day apologize. So the guy was like a real guy. He's perfectly willing to say, hey, I was wrong. I get it. And I kind of like that. It's like, he's a jerk, but he's my jerk, Anyhow, so yeah, I think the Yankee Marshal, in the end, is a good guy.
All right. Pretty damn good question. Ron Bear asks, why doesn't Flying Rich make a series on building the small plane you don't need a license for?
All right, a couple answers to that. One is YouTube algorithm. I've been doing more gun content, and that's what's getting me promoted. So if I did I do actually have a Flying Rich Vehicles channel. So if I did anything with cars, boats, planes, it's going to be over there. I may put it on both channels, but try to get people over on the other channel. As a private pilot, the level of snobbery. So private pilots are here, and people that fly planes that you don't need a license for are here. So private pilots say, friends don't let friends fly lawn furniture, typically meaning ultralights. I don't have a lot of interest in flying anything you don't need a license for. And I don't mean that in any kind of derogatory way. Flying really is two things for me. One, I put hundreds of hours just blowing off steam. Getting up, watching the sunset. Like I had a crap job, it annoyed me. On my way home, I drive by the airport and jump in the plane, buzz around for an hour. Changes your attitude on a lot of things. The other part is the plane that I have that's currently in pieces flies nearly 200 miles an hour. So it enables me to get places quick, which I'm getting to the point in my finances where I'm going to be able to get my biannual flight review, which isn't a big deal, and my medical, again, not a big deal, but I'll have the money to throw at flying an airplane. So that's where I'm heading.
All right, I'm going to move you over here so I can throw you up on the big screen. The touch of a button. There you go. See, I can do that. All right, Guy. Let's go with the next question here, and it's from Jacob. Jacob wants to know, any love for the M1 Grand and the BM59?
I definitely, an M1 Grand is on my shopping list, but the prices are just, I can't justify the cost on it. And I hate to say it that way. People might be offended, but Like my PS90, I bought one when it was $875. Like I found a deal, brand new PS90 $875. Wish I bought two. So yeah, it's on the shopping list, but it's got to be one of those. Maybe I buy it at a yard sale for a great deal.
All right. Sounds good to me. Our friend DLD After Dark. If you look over on DLD After Dark on YouTube, it's a great show, and he has a great guest. He wants to know, what are your thoughts on paramotors, which you might have already answered.
Yeah, that kind of goes into the Friends Don't Let Friends Fly lawn furniture. Paramotors scare the frick out of me, and it might be just that I don't know a lot about them. But
I got a follow-up question. Didn't somebody die in a paramotor? YouTuber?
yeah, well, King of Random, who was an airline pilot, and I think a couple of people have. A couple of high-profile people. Don't get me wrong. There's other, I'm sure, people that do, but yeah, just I don't know enough about them, so I would just generally stay away from them.
Dark with a follow-up question here, and he wants to know, what are your thoughts on? Oh wait, he already the same question, man. What the hell? JC9 asked, Rich,
And
are you test pilot for Lockheed Martin or Project Aurora?
none of that. So I'm a private pilot with an instrument rating, so single engine land piston, and with a little over 1,000 hours. So I think you would have to have a commercial rating to be a test pilot. So no.
JC9 with a follow-up question. Rich,
All right.
are you
But
in the Mile High Club?
I'm going to give somebody else's answer to that. So my plane is kind of like an F-16, where you're like laid back in the seat. It's like a chaise lounge, and you got a bubble and a side stick. So I asked one of my friends that has significant more time in one of these airplanes. He's like, "Oh yeah, I joined the Mile High Club in the plane." I'm like, "Oh my gosh, how'd you do that?" He's like, "I was all alone."
All right, that's a little bit too much information.
So, short answer on my end, no.
All right. Ron Bear wants to know, did you get the threaded Ruger 5.7?
I think Ron Bear's asking the wrong question. I have a Ruger 5.7 that's not threaded. Likewise with my FN 5.7. I was looking at getting the PSA 5.7 with the threaded barrel, but kind of decided not to pull the trigger on that. I'm still paying off debt, and I figured, hey, I don't need another gun that's kind of a unicorn gun. Doesn't make sense.
Okay, the next question from Jacob. Any recommendations on trying to build a pair of turbo M-jet engines for a small non-military cargo aircraft? I doubt it will work, but when we
All right, so there's a couple answers to that question. And interestingly enough, I got into flying model airplanes because I wanted to fly gas turbine engines or pulse jets. And then when I saw people actually flying them, I'm like, hell no, I don't want to go near that crap. First off, you can build with like normal shop tools a turbojet engine. Now you said turbo ramjet, that's something else. In military cargo aircraft, you're in a different category. But there's actually books from England, because England's all nutso on this stuff, on how to build a small gas turbine engine, and they have engines up to like 45 pounds of thrust. And there's even a Cree, which is like, I don't know if it's the world's smallest airplane, but it's one of the world's smallest airplanes. And it was designed for 2 chainsaw motors on the front. And people have done 2 gas turbine engines, and somebody crossed the Atlantic in one with 2 electric motors before Airbus did it with their plane. So if you look at the record books, I think it actually claims Airbus is the first to cross the English Channel with an electric plane, but some dude on a Cree with electric motors did it first.
All right. Question from Dark. Rich, what is the craziest non-firearm weapon you've ever built or owned?
Non-firearm?
That's hard, man.
I don't think I built a non-firearm weapon. Other than maybe when I was a kid, put a nail in a 2x4 or something like that. But yeah, no. And one more thing on the gas turbine engines. You can find gas turbine engines that are mostly run out pretty cheap. And, typically, what was it? Is it J58? So one company built two planes like mine instead of with a piston engine, but with a gas engine. I think it was a J58, and you can get them pretty cheap, used.
All right. We have tons of questions out here. How old were you? Live Life asked, how old were you when you got your pilot's license?
I don't know. I'm wondering. And pulling out my AARP card, my drone license. This is the eye test now. And so to be 100% accurate is the pilot certificate. Okay. So July 4th, 2005. So, wow, 17 years ago? That's it? All right. It took me a couple of years to get my pilot's license. So I'd have to look back at my logbook to talk when I was signed off to solo. But date of issue was July 4th, 2005, so 17 years ago. So I'm 56. So I was 39. Did I do that right?
Yeah, I guess. Close enough. Can you carry a firearm on a private plane?
Yes. Yes. As many as you want, full-size shaving cream, everything. It's your damn plane. Do what you want.
All right. Did you see Jerry Nadler? This is from Jerry Nadler said he's proud of impeaching Bush twice, and yes, he did. That's not a typo. He actually said that.
I did not watch the speech, but I did see Tucker tonight. I watched 2/3 of Tucker tonight, let me say. And I call him Waddler. He was much bigger, and he got a stomach stapled. And apparently the dude couldn't stand up for the speech. So I know he's 76, and they redrew these districts, and he's debating another lady who's an incumbent, and she's like 77. One of them, they're like, it's like, dudes, just retire. Give the guy with the man bun a chance.
Yeah, I don't watch Tucker. I think they need to get better.
But they're all freaking dinosaur geriatrics. And Tucker stole a line from me. He said caramella like 4 times.
Yeah, that's freaking funny. Maybe he watches the show, or someone who writes for him watches the show or something like that. Maybe, I don't know.
Huh. Ooh, I see a question I'm going to be interested in answering.
All right, well, we'll get to it. We have 13 after this one. Have you ever had a dream where you're standing on a pyramid and a bunch of beautiful women are throwing pickles at you? Why am I the only one that had a dream?
Not Pickles, but close.
All right. When you crash into a lake,
well, it depends on how long the airplane floats.
Or a submarine.
So one of the problems,
Mr. G Webs, who also have a channel that's really awesome. They do like Free Patch Fridays and stuff, which is kind of cool.
G Webs, the 2A Sasquatch.
Yeah.
So I met him at SHOT Show briefly. So the problem with crashing into a body of water is one, you have to be healthy enough to swim, and 2, somebody in a plane like mine crashed. So my plane is built like a surfboard, so it's going to float. The problem is if you have full fuel tanks, you get chemical burns hanging on to parts of the wreckage.
Well, that could be a bummer.
Yeah.
All right, Dark asks, what is in my trash can and going to be contributing to my soil soon?
A raccoon that died of heat exhaustion.
Yeah, it is hot outside, right? Okay.
Yes, I guess it got into his trash can and couldn't get out.
All right, let's go back to the third question. JFK, foul play or no?
No foul play. JFK Jr. His flying accident. It's funny. That's one of like 2 questions people always ask
JFK
about
Jr.,
aviation. So, when you're out on a moonless night over, and I fly that area all along. So I did all my primary flight training on Long Island, and so if you're flying out to Nantucket with a moonless night, you're an instrument rated pilot at that point, or what I should say, instrument rated. You're flying in IMC, which is instrument meteorological conditions, because you get in a situation where the sky and the ocean are exactly black, the same black. So with no moon, nothing. You have no horizon. So if you can't fly with your instruments, you're in a heap of trouble. I heavily rely on my autopilot for pretty much, if I'm not taking off or landing, I got the autopilot on. And he did the flight with the autopilot. He took it off to come in for a landing, and that's when he got disoriented and pulled it into the classical dead man spiral.
Yeah, he was only VFR rated, right?
And even if you're IFR rated, I've flown where the cloud layers, instead of the cloud layers being horizontal, the cloud layers were like that, and I wanted to roll my plane like that. There was one day I was doing simulated instrument flight over the ocean at night, and the moon was reflecting off the ocean. I could see, so you got these fogged glasses, I could see out the corner through the window the reflection of the moon, and my brain wants to put the bright thing above me. I had to fight my instincts to not roll the plane upside down. So there's your brain does some weird crap on that.
All right. It's a cancer mouse, also known as Ting Ting, says, tell us your YouTube experience.
Whew, I don't know what that means. That's a pretty broad question.
Well,
so
ask me anything. They can ask you anything they want, right?
So originally I had no intentions of being a YouTuber. I just posted videos for other people to see. Like I was consulting out of town, and I'd post a video for my family to see. It's like, what's going on? Posted some family videos early on. They're still up there. Recently, John and I hooked up. I think the big deal was I met Hank Strange, and because of Hank, I met a whole bunch of other people. And that was the big breakthrough for me. Recently, it seems like I peaked to 22K subs, and do I have it right here? Let me arm my alarm system while I'm looking. And analytics overview. I'm at 73, 76 subs. So I don't know if it was 2 weeks back. I peaked at 22K. They were all from a bot farm. YouTube pulled them all back. I was down to like 4.5K, which I was at like 5.6 before this all started. And then it's been growing back. So right now I'm at 73, 78. And the joke that I make with dark, and I don't know what it means, I always say that I want to be double dark. So I'm at least double dark's subscribers.
Okay. G-Web with another question. Do you consider a hot dog to be a sandwich?
Never thought of it as a sandwich, but if you consider a hamburger to be a sandwich, that could be. And I used to put ketchup on hot dogs, but now I put mustard.
Ugh, mustard. Never mind. I don't like mustard. Okay. Ron Wayne asked, were you scared when you pulled the trigger on your 50 for the first time?
No, and it wasn't the first time I shot a 50. So, but serious, the 50, if you're like doing that or like you're smiling, your teeth hurt from the shockwave. It's like, so.
G-Web does not accept that reply. Okay, we got that one done. Okay, Man Against the Masses, the master of the meme.
Damn.
Since you won't do the AK pull shoot, will you do a 50 pull shoot? Also, is there any truth to the rumor that there was actually a third landing that took out your tiki hut roof?
So I used to hide the tiki hut in my videos, and now I don't. Because one, you see us smiling and goofing around and having fun online. realistically, the Tiki Hut symbolizes my personal life and what's going on. So there's a lot of crap that I don't share that isn't fun. So that's I often say that. So if you look at us YouTubers and we're smiling and yucking up, shit's real for all of us. You know, there's stuff going on. I want to do the AK shoot. I don't know enough to do a 50 BMG full shoot. That's kind of scary for me.
All right. G-Web says, what's your YouTube password?
I don't know. I have a password generator to memorize all that.
I do. I use a random character generator, then I just memorize it.
Yeah, I'm not as good as Crumpy.
All right. Dark asks, okay, it's the end of the world. The sky is falling. They're knocking on your door for your papers and guns. Do you have one item to PWEDC? What is it? I'm dead ass serious, by the way. No pun intended.
I guess I'm gonna have to get a what is it? A North American 22,
dude. I
revolver. But
right.
yeah, I got nothing on the PWEDC.
So here is a great question by JC9.
Okay.
Skyline GT.
Huh.
GTR R34 or 930 911
right.
Turbo.
All right. So now is he talking a current?
But this is a question for you.
What turbo are we talking? We're talking modern day turbo. We're talking 1986 turbo. If it's a 1986 930, it's a cool experience, 4-speed. Huge turbocharger, huge lag, but when the power comes on, it feels like you're shot out of a cannon. Now, I don't know if modern cars are just much more better than that, but at the time, I thought it was the craziest ride. Maybe not the fastest 0 to 60, fastest top speed, but I'm going to stick with like 1986, whatever the year was, the 930 as the answer for the 911 Turbo. If it's a modern turbo, I'd pick that over all of them. But I would say the R34.
All right. Misty Mrs. Wayne says, what's the hardest thing about having a YouTube channel? Can't remember.
Oh, okay. All right. So thanks. Yeah, so when I hit, like right now at like 6,000-7,000 views, subscribers, I'm not really like, I'll put something up if people like it, fine. But now that it seems like I've got a methodology on the algorithm, I'm talking with Matt Hoover. I'm like, hey, I want to do a video on this. He's like, yeah, don't do that. I'm like, why not? He's like, because your channel focus is here and what you're doing is over here. And that's just going to throw off the views. So when I was at 22,000 subs, I was nervous, because I wasn't sure if they were real or not. I was pretty sure they weren't. But even though I didn't want to make another video and risk losing subs, so I waited until Monday for John Crump Live to be my next video to see what happened. And so yeah, as you creep up, one of the things is, am I gonna make a stinker of a video and lose subs on it? So that's kind of the fear. And so you could call it let's see, paralysis by analysis. Yes, that's it.
Okay. Jacob asks, so should I at least try to build the engine and get a pilot to test the aircraft?
There's many more problems with a gas turbine engine you would build yourself. You're much better off buying something used. But yeah, and I could go into the physics of small gas turbine engines, but you probably don't want to hear that. You definitely look up used gas turbine engines.
All right. I think that's why we are seeing all this assault weapons ban, because of the Nadler debate. I don't think that's a question. I think it's a comment, Jason.
I'm just going to say bump on that. I don't have a good answer. or a witty retort.
Okay, Jacob. Another question from Jacob. Should I make an engine similar to a scramjet engine in a helicopter engine? Evil laughter.
I thought, like, in the back of Boys Life magazine, weren't there kits to make a, like, pulse jet gyrocopter or something where it had, like, pulse jet engines on the tips of the rotors?
There definitely was.
Yeah. If you do it, get a good life insurance policy. Name me as the beneficiary.
All right. Frag Out Designs, who makes some of the sickest designs on the planet. Check them out at Frag Out Designs.
Yeah,
Design Studio.
definitely. I'm a total fanboy. So check them on IG. Check them out on YouTube. And I need to have one of their products. Don't know what it is, but I need to have one. Actually, I want a 1911.
He's gonna do something for me for like my 35,000 giveaway thing.
Cool.
Okay. He wants to know: do you believe the moon is cheese? Because he does.
Haven't been there, so I can't speak for sure. But I'm pretty sure the astronauts would have brought some home for us to share if it was.
All right. G-Web says, can a private pilot fly with nods?
I don't think there's any restriction on that.
All right, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I haven't specifically looked for that.
Your red and green lights and everything else.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if you do signal lights or if you're looking for other aircraft, but yeah, I don't think there's any reason you couldn't fly with nods.
Yeah, but what I'm saying, it doesn't really make sense. All right.
Maybe. Yeah.
Ron Wayne says, have you ever been caught between the moon and New York City?
Probably several times. Because I used to do the Manhattan tour, so I'd fly. You got to fly 500 feet along the beach at JFK to go under their radar, and really 499 feet and lower. And I'd be doing that at like 175 knots, which was a lot of fun. So I typically, great date flight. You get in the plane about sunset. You watch the sunset as you fly into Manhattan. Fly up the Hudson River on the west side, and then turn westbound at the GW Bridge, and then come back down, do a loop around the Statue of Liberty, and then head back out. And okay, also cross the Verrazano right at 1,000 feet, so it's like goalpost. You're going right like that.
Nice. The Verrazano it connects Staten Island with
Brooklyn.
Brooklyn, yeah. I don't know why I locked up there. Do you know anyone in New York City who has their CCW?
Donald Trump. No, not personally. Oh, wait. Not New York City. All right, so my flight instructor has an auto parts store. He carries cash, and he has a carry permit, but that's Suffolk County, Long Island.
All right. Have you ever flown using night vision? A lot of night vision questions here.
No, neither of them. So not driving or flying.
Okay.
Ooh, I want to tell you an interesting story about that. So Bridgehampton Racetrack, at night, they used to do an FBI driver's training course, and they would have to go around the track at night with no lights on. So on a moonless night, God bless you.
All right. Yeah, and in fact, training, you had to do that. All right. Who do I direct a question to? I'm late to the party tonight. You just put it in the chat and I'll get it.
Just like you did.
Martin,
show us your crash face.
Show us your crash
I have
face.
no idea. I don't have a mirror, didn't have a cockpit recorder, so don't know.
Make one. Just make one up. Hold on. You know what?
Are we done?
This is better. All right. Let's keep on rolling. Tim Harper.
How would I power a power glider?
Would you power a power glider?
Remotely. I don't know. I mean, you could do a gas turbine, which would be cool, like a model jet engine.
There you go. Ron Bear wants to know if is cereal soup.
Well, you have cold soups and hot soups, but I think a soup has a broth and is usually more than one thing. So if cereal is milk only, I would say no. Now, if you have oatmeal, I would probably question that analysis because typically when I make oatmeal, I put like milk, some butter, and maybe honey in it.
Okay. Sabar. Hold on. Gotta.
Will you ever shoot the 50 like the arc? What does that
I'm
mean?
supposed to be answering a question. Will you ever
Oh,
shoot the 50 like the arc? I have no idea.
does he mean holding it, or does like there are some videos of me shooting the 50, but not a lot. We're just really test firing it, not just into a berm, so no target. But yeah, I mean, I'll hold the 50 shoot. I'll do a whole bunch of 50 shooting videos. I just gotta probably gonna go to Ares Armory and take care of that.
All right. A lot of science fiction questions coming up.
Ooh, I see a question I want to answer.
Okay? The Kevman 011 wants to know how rainbows are made.
Well, it's refraction of light in the water suspended in the atmosphere.
All right.
So,
B3 Outdoors. Have you seen anything strange while flying? Would you fly in the Bermuda Triangle?
I've never seen anything strange other than like cloud to cloud lightning. Bermuda Triangle, hell yeah, yeah, no issues with that.
Okay, Mike McClune wants to know how exactly does Pavi traction work?
Well, so you can have different types of posi traction. You can have a clutch type posi traction, or you can have a torsion limited slip. Like in my card, I believe John's card has the same thing, right?
Yeah.
You have a torsion differential, which is kind of a shortening of torque sensing differential. There's no clutches in it; it's all geared. And typically they'll do like a 90-10 torque split between one wheel and the other.
I have all-wheel drive.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you got the G70 twin turbo 3.3 liter with a chip.
Yep. All right. It's fast. All right. Rory wants to know, what do you do with a tyrannical police chief that can't keep his composure, and a mayor that does not have the stones to stand up to this police chief, tell him to shut up and sit down and listen to the citizens?
Wow. All right. So
That's a big
there's not a whole lot you can do about that. But I believe the police chief is a political appointment. So, you know, that's you got to just get another guy in office to get rid of that guy.
All right. Man against the masses. Is Rich going to host a search party gathering to find his LCP Max?
All right, so I put it somewhere before I left town, and I'm not sure where I put it.
All right. We're rolling through these questions, trying to get through all of them. We might not get through all of them tonight because we got a lot, but we'll get as many as possible. Okay, Mike McClune, you gotta wait. I gotta read the question. Do you own your airplane or do you rent?
Okay, so my airplane, my tail number is November 144 Tango Juliet. You can look that up. You'll see some pictures of it online. It's in pieces right now, so if I start flying in the near future,
Pieces?
Because I landed on a road, hit a car, speed limit sign, stop sign, and took out a power line with my landing gear.
Luckily, there's no children involved in that.
There were.
All right. Next question.
I cried like a babe. No, I did not.
FN
FAL or FN Scar?
Scar. The FAL or the Scar? That is from JC9.
Now, I like the Scar, but the FAL is cool. I think I'd go with the FAL. I like the Stormtrooper boot, but I think I'd pick FAL.
All right. I'm not going to play the Wolverines because it's Rich's show tonight, not mine.
Okay.
Like Capital,
What is your
like Capital, what is in your prison wallet?
24-hour
From
food?
One Love Designs, thank you so much for the $5.56 super chat. Go ahead, Rich.
Yeah, digested food from 24 hours ago. That's it.
All right. Tim Harper, would you fly in a Turbo LS powered aircraft?
No, and there's a lot of reasons why. Because I was actually at an airport where a guy took off in an LS powered aircraft, and the reduction drive for the prop broke, and he killed himself in a house not too far from the airfield.
Wow.
So airplane engines are designed for airplanes. Car engines are designed for cars, and you're not saving any money by putting an automobile engine in an airplane, because what it takes to convert it and get everything working is going to end up nearly the same price. And so let's go back a little bit. An aircraft engine, like maybe boat engines, are designed to run their whole life at full throttle. So the engine on my plane is 320 cubic inch 4-cylinder, and it's the low compression 150 horsepower version. So the pistons are this big, and the reason aircraft engines are designed that way is because the prop is bolted to the crankshaft, no redrive, no nothing, and your prop typically is 72 inches long, and if you rotate a prop at greater than 2,700 RPMs with a 72-inch prop, the tip speed becomes supersonic and you lose efficiency. So you pretty much never want to go over 2,700 RPMs. Most car engines develop peak horsepower and torque at like 5,000 RPMs and up. So you would need a gear reduction drive to make it effective, or belt-driven system, and those things kill people.
Okay. What is your favorite cartoon? From
Ooh,
Chris Shoemaker.
wow.
One of the original.
Wow.
Wolverine.
There's so many good ones. I'm going to pick something kind of obscure. I mean, there's the classics, so Bugs Bunny, Roadrunner, all that kind of Saturday morning stuff. But Aqua Teen Hunger Force.
Good answer. Very good answer. Okay, this one's from Alan Powell. Are you going to be a crash test dummy for Halloween?
No, but that's a good suggestion.
All right, let's keep on rolling with the question then. Ting Ting, the cancer mouth herself, says, is there an actual airplane that can cut your arm off if trying to land? I've seen a video of a boat plane that claimed that. I have no idea.
Oh, yeah, I'm not sure what she's talking about. So I'm guessing there's some like ultralight, and they have like an inflatable bottom to it. So yeah, you'll have typically a pusher prop setup. So if something goes wrong, yeah, you could be pretty close to that prop. Yeah, I would just go back to the original answer: friends don't let friends fly lawn furniture.
All right, there we go. Who would win in a fight, Kirk or Picard?
Oh, come on, Kirk, all day long.
Yeah, I don't know how that's a question. That's from Ron Wayne, who needs to get his head checked if he thinks Picard will win. Mike McClune asks, if the moon is made of cheese, what kind of cheese? Is the moon made of then? What?
Well, it would have to be Swiss, because the craters would be like holes, or I don't know if there's another cheese that has holes in it.
If he's supposed, I mean, I think then might have been some other word, because I don't know. Good question. Jason Fisher says, what is your prediction for the U.S. Senate elections? What candidates do you think will win AZ, GA, and PA?
Wow. All right, so I don't know the specific states in question. I mean, if you asked me Florida, I could give you that answer. If you asked me New York, I could give you...
You know Pennsylvania, Dr. Oz.
Oh, okay. Oh, jeez.
And, you have the Warnock and everything.
I'm not going to give you a good answer on that question. It seems like what do they always say is it's the Republicans' turn to snatch failure out of the jaws of victory.
Mm-hmm.
It's realistically the Republicans' turn to lose, and they have been set up for a massive landslide victory. So the only thing that could go wrong is we get lazy and complacent and not think it's important to vote.
All right. How does Rich? This is from Guns and Barbecue. How does Rich schedule guests for each episode?
Oh my God. A couple of different ways. You know, I'll look through and like, hey, who haven't I had on in a while? There's some regular people. So Shooting Gallery New England is off on Monday, so I like to have him on Monday, and Richard Hoffman, who I actually talked to today. You know, it's nice having those guys on because they're both gunsmiths. Sometimes I see somebody that I don't know, but I know Crumpy knows. I'm like, hey, Crumpy, can you reach out to this person and get them on?
Like Paul.
What's that?
Like Paul from
Legally Armed. Paul, Legally Armed America. Yeah. And there are people I know personally, like JC Hall. There's another guy I've been trying to get on, and I've like had him slotted. And so I do know some, you know, like really cool people that haven't been on any other YouTuber show. So I try to get different people on. All right, Stargate or Battlestar Galactica.
I gotta read the question. JC9 asks, Stargate or Battlestar Galactica? It depends on what Battlestar Galactica.
Okay, I'm gonna answer this with the Stargate being the OG Stargate series. That is the most popular series in the world because it lasted 10 years. Although I don't like the last couple of years as much. Now, I'm actually a fan of Ben Bowder and Claudia Black from Farscape, but I didn't like the Ori thread. But believe it or not, I've probably watched more Stargate than any other human in the world because I have it on my Plex server, and I just continuously loop through that during the night to keep, because I know the episodes, so my brain isn't here, it's out there, and I can sleep.
Okay.
So I seriously bring Stargate with me wherever I go to sleep. But the Battlestar Galactica I'll answer as the new BSG, and oh my God, I get chills when I think about that series. That was so good. I remember as a kid the Lauren Green one, and loved it as a kid. It's unwatchable now. You can't watch that.
Okay.
You read the question, John?
Yeah, sorry. Jason, do you see the NY Republican who vote for the assault weapons ban now pushing a federal gun licensing? That's Chris Jacobs.
Wow. I haven't seen that. I'm not up on New York politics, but I think that's a congressman if I recall correctly. And yeah, thanks. We need more like you. Not.
You just do not joke.
Yeah.
Okay. Just asking. Timothy Harper with another one. Here in Oklahoma, I see pilots flying 50 feet above the water following lakes, like slalom racing. They actually pop up to clear bridges. Is that illegal? I think they're flying in Class G airspace there.
Yeah, so there's a legal, I don't think, is a reasonable question to ask. And a couple of things to aviation. If you bank greater than 60 degrees in a non-aerobatic aircraft, that's not legal according to the FAA. But guess what? I'll use Al Gore's line, there's no controlling legal authority. There's no FAA cop hanging out on a cloud ready to pull you over. Now, if you did it low and somebody had it on video, yeah, you'd probably get in trouble.
That actually happened to a lady.
So, I've always been like, I've flown in some aerobatic airplanes and I've done some aerobatics, but as far as my plane goes, I fly straight and level, and I've done some, flying the parabola going 0G, which is kind of fun. But one day, a buddy of mine was kind of like fighter pilot-ishing, and we're playing Follow the Leader, and he dove down, and this is like over the Hamptons, and between him and me, somebody took off the helicopter from the backyard, and I had to like go around it. So I was like, none of that crap anymore. But so the original question was, there are guys that'll actually water ski the tires on the airplane. I've heard stories about them measuring the bridge one day to see if the wingtips will fit under it, and like water skiing the plane under the bridge. Now, flying under a bridge is not legal on the FAA. I've seen people do it. Also, you're dumb AF, because if you're 50 feet above the water and somebody else coming 50 feet above the water around a corner, you're screwed.
Okay. B3 Outdoors. We got a lot of questions to get through, so we might have to speed it up a little bit. But if a nuke is headed for the U.S., where are you flying off to?
Nowhere. You're not going to get anywhere fast enough.
All right. Chris Shoemake wants to know, could you put an RX motor in a plane? Probably not a good idea.
The RX-7 rotary engine's been done. I actually know a guy that did it, and he had many, many, many emergency landings in the plane.
That sounds stupid to me. But Jason King wants to know, name your top 3 movies.
Heat. Heat is definitely up there. I like True Lies. I think that's a fun movie you can watch almost any time. And I'm kind of going to do a bonus. Deadpool, I just get a kick out every time I watch both 1 and 2.
All right. Evo 3 or KC9? That's from Ron Bear.
I'm going to go with Evo 3.
I love the Evo 3. Okay.
FAL versus AR-10.
Walker.
So
Walker Custom. FAL, the FNFAL, the venerable FNL versus the AR-10, which is made by multiple different companies.
So I have 2 AR-10s, 6.5 Creedmoor and 308, but I would definitely go FAL.
All right. That works for me. Let's go to the next one, and this is from B3 Outdoors again. Would you rather have unlimited guns or unlimited ammo for life?
I'd rather have unlimited ammo for life, because I'll buy the guns if I don't have to pay for the ammo.
Yeah, that's definitely.
Where's my 50 cal rounds?
All right. A little break here, just really quick, and then we'll get back to it. I just have to show this.
So that's a long easy. That's not my plane, but my plane is based on that. My plane is basically a double wide version of that. And was that Man Against the Masses?
Of course it was. The resident memester. All right, let's get back to the questions here so we can get through this. Chris Shoemake wants to know, what is the most influential person of your life that is not a family member?
Wow. So I can't say my father-in-law. Well, although John may get that joke. So, there, we have a lot of mentors, and I worked at an automotive machine shop for a guy, and he's a pilot and an airframe power plant mechanic, and taught me a lot of good common sense stuff. In aviation, so the guy's name is Jesse Eldridge from East Islip, Long Island. And so mad respect for him and his skills. And there are other people in the flying community. My flight instructor, just great guy all the way around. And I want to say another guy, Ron Paragores. He's always hit me up with another pilot, machinist, brilliant guy, brilliant, and just hit me up with like real interesting questions and making me think. And he would always pass something by that was completely wrong to see if I was paying attention and call him out on it.
All right. We're gonna have to speed this up a little bit to get through it because we have
Okay.
so many questions rolling in here. We got 20 questions left that haven't came in. You can still submit your questions if you want. We'll try to get to them. I try to get to as many questions as we can. Ron Wayne, do you like gladiators? Do you like movies
No,
about gladiators? I was trying
no,
to
no
think of the
gladiator
line in my
movies.
head, but that is from Airplane.
Airplane, yes, yes.
B3 Outdoors. Do you ever pick up packages in Colombia?
Never been there, and no.
All right. Question for everyone: How soon is How soon is World War How soon until World War Three? That's from
Well, a year ago
Jacob.
they said we are already in it. I hope not. Let's just say hope not.
All right. One Love Design. Are there any philosophers you enjoy reading?
All right, I'm gonna have to confess a really dirty secret. Uh, I don't read a whole lot. I'm better on audiobooks. So Voltaire, John Locke, um, I think are great places to start. I mean the Federalist Papers, Anti-Federalist Papers, those kinds of things. The framing, the founders and the fathers of our Constitution have brilliant writings. So really intelligent stuff out there. And you think like we're smart, we're not smart.
Okay. What are your feelings on the alien UFO phenomenon? Are they real? Are they
Okay,
extraterrestrial? Are they
all right.
us?
There's too much data out there to, and I'm going to say UFO in the most general form, not meaning little green men, just meaning unidentified flying object. I also often make the statement that I've flown a UFO because I wasn't identified at the time. My personal theory on that is that the little gray men piloting the UFOs are people from the future coming back to sample DNA from us to fix a big F up in the future genetically.
All right. Who would win in a fight? Han Solo or Malcolm Reynolds from Serenity?
Huh,
Firefly, good question.
huh. I really like Firefly and Serenity. Good stuff. I'm gonna say Han Solo, just because I'm more of a Star Wars geek than a Serenity guy.
Who is your dream guest?
All right. Well, we already had Eric from Iraq Veteran. Um, let's see. I mean, we had Tim Military Arms Channel. Uh, I'm like in. All right. So this is going to sound kind of douchey of me. There's the phrase "be careful when of meeting your heroes," and I I mean, I've met Tim, Military Arms Channel. I've met Eric, and not they would know me. Now maybe they recognize me because they're on with John and I. But they were always just nice people, genuine nice people, and I'd be worried about getting somebody with many millions of subscribers on and finding out they're a real jerk. So far, I haven't heard. Like I know somebody that knows Matt from Demolition Ranch, and they say he's a nice guy. So maybe Matt from Demolition Ranch.
All right. It looks like you're going to Safety Harbor Firearms to get a really short barrel to win the competition. But other than that,
Wait, what was that?
you're going to Safety Harbor Firearms to get your barrel. Mike
I
J.
in
No,
that
no, no,
box.
nope. Oh, it is. Mike J. Give me a barrel 1 inch shorter than Rich's. Mike J wants to know AK or AR. And we're in the speed round here, Rich.
All right, both,
We have
but
like 20
AR.
questions left. AR. I'm just trying to get through these questions.
Mm-hmm.
If you dream through a Stargate, I have no idea what that means, every night, how do you even know if you are in this reality? No idea what that means.
Well, yeah, it's every once in a while I have a dream where it's formed by something I'm watching, but not most of the time.
All right, I'm gonna add the final two questions to the list, and we'll go here. Lynn Hall, if
Oh,
taken
you
to an
skipped
armory, I did.
yeah, you skipped. Do you believe Cocaine Mitch McConnell will be reelected
Okay.
as Senate Majority Leader? And yes, unfortunately, I believe he will. I think only death will remove him from office.
Right. Lynn Hall, if taken to an armory of choice, money not a problem, what would you pick out to keep?
Oh my! It'd be like a Gatling gun. Definitely be like a Gao 20, right?
Yeah. There you go. Chris Shoemake, would you rather fight 100 duck-sized horses or one horse-sized duck?
So, are we talking fists or pistols? I'm thinking 100 duck-sized horses, though, because you could just stomp them all quick.
All right. Okay. Did we already do? Do you think Georgia has a lost cause? I think so because of the Atlanta suburb growth.
So every state has the same problem where there's a metro area, and so the metro area is deep blue, and then the rest of the state is red. That's New York, that's Minnesota. So maybe not.
Yeah. I also hate when we are flying around the neighborhood and some jerk launches up with a helicopter out of his backyard. Happens too often, in my opinion. So do you stop him at the yacht club that weekend? I don't think that's a serious question. So,
So, G-Webs, just in case you're wondering, I've always been the poor man in any kind of, whether it's the Porsche Club or airplanes or boats. So, yeah, I've always been the poor man.
Rich, have you done a barrel roll in an airplane?
Yes, not mine, but an extra 260.
Okay. Could could you get flags made and make the FBI pack so I can get all the flags? Or a package with all the
I
flags.
like that. We need to let's get on the line with Toxic Patch Co. And can we get like a patch with all the militia?
Oh, okay, I got it.
MVE.
MVE, yeah.
Ooh, dude, you're killing me, man.
SolidWorks or Fusion?
All right, SolidWorks or Fusion. Unfortunately, I use Tinkercad, and I was like all sorts of impressed because the 3D Print General uses Tinkercad also. I did download Fusion and going through learning it.
Why aren't we flying yet like in the Jetsons?
So, excuse me. Realistically, the problem is power to weight ratio and fuel density. If we're puttering around with Caro and gasoline, we're never going to get there.
Physics. Okay, here you go. What is your opinion on mail-in voting? I just saw today that the PA Supreme Court upheld Act 77, the state's mail-in voting law.
Right, and the Supreme Court of Pennsylvania is wrong because that had to be, I think, if I recall correctly, it had to be a constitutional amendment. It couldn't just be an act by the legislature.
Do you have any sort of Elon Musk story with your father-in-law?
My father-in-law doesn't even drive a Tesla. Doesn't even I probably knows who Elon Musk is, but no.
Okay. How many times have you been down the toy aisle at Harbor Freight and bought an RC boat, plane, or drone?
None. And every aisle's a toy aisle. I don't know why you're saying that.
All right. Do you have a ham radio license?
No, and I'm ham curious.
I do. All right. That's a good one. I have one. Okay. Fire router. Have you ever considered getting a APW or IA rating?
So airframe power plant with an inspector and authorization rating. I thought about the AP. I probably could get that. How short can an AR-15 barrel be? We'll have to find out.
Safety Harbor Firearms. You got to give me a call. I got money for you.
But Walter's my friend.
Half an inch shorter. That's all I'm asking. What are Rich's assault airplanes?
If you have a current pilot certificate, I think everybody should have one.
Do you think Nadler or Maloney will win in New York?
I'm hoping that, like, I think the guy was Indian and had a bun. I hope he wins. Just get some new blood in there.
All right. What is the hardest part about YouTube? Does it cause you anxiety?
I only had anxiety when I had 22,000 subs and was panicked about making a stinker video. The hardest part is coming up with content, like a formula for content that people will watch. Not that what you think would be funny or good, and the best example of that is my Amazon drone delivery of ammo.
Okay, you have no idea what Dark is talking about? You can let me know. Eli says, FR-22 turbo or Vision plane? SR-20 turbo, sorry.
Yeah. So the SR-20 super nice airplane Vision jet. I think that's a single engine jet. I would go jet. I know somebody, and I've actually flown it, an Eclipse jet.
All right. Rich, was there an alien? Was the alien crash? I'm thinking means alien crashed in Roswell, New Mexico. Did an alien
I
crash
would say BS on that. I do love conspiracy theories. I don't believe them.
All right, only 6 more to go. Something original says, "What is the hardest part about YouTube? Does it cause you anxiety?" I thought we already did that.
We answer that.
All right, F4 A10 Warthog.
Wow, that's a great question. F4 is like a legendary airplane, and I think there's lots of them around you can get. A10 maybe not so much, but an A10 I think would be cool AF. Plus, you got that beautiful Gatling gun sending depleted uranium down range.
All right, let's get back here. Did you see Tim Scott endorse Lisa Murkowski?
No, I wasn't tracking that, so no.
What a freaking rhino! They're all rhinos.
Tim Scott's a rhino?
No, Murkowski.
Oh, okay.
Do you like
all
black
right,
white coffee?
No, I actually drink Folgers Decaf Instant.
You should check out JM4 Tactical, and you can use Crump 10 to get 10% off. They just launched their coffee subscriptions today. That's not a plug, by the way.
Oh, all right.
So.
Walter has a comment. Walter from Safety Harbor Firearms. Pilatus PC-12. Oh my gosh, I get chills when I think about that airplane. It's a turboprop airplane, single pilot capable. You can land and take off in a 1,000-foot grass field. Unbelievable airplane. Great if you're a drug runner.
All right. Okay, here we go. Rich did say he would answer something original's question the other night.
I'm not sure where Dark's going.
He said I had to ask that.
Yeah, I think there are some questions that I wanted people to ask me tonight. What's your purpose in life? Wow. Oh, God. To anger my wife?
Hold on. Let's do this one first, and that can be the final question.
Ooh.
Favorite music genre?
So 80s rock, I almost, because it's so played out, but I still love it. Pink Floyd, Led Zeppelin, Def Leppard, Twisted Sister, those kinds of stuff. Blue Oyster Cult, all that kind of stuff.
I'm going to add a couple more questions here, and then we're done. And
So I have a SIG P365.
what is your
and
favorite
I keep
EDC and weighted bullet? Now you can answer.
Yes, I have a 365, and I keep a salad. So I've got what are these? These are the where's the bread? It's the I can't read the name. Fort Scott Munitions. That's it. Fort Scott Munitions. So it's tumbled brass, and I got some hollow points here. I don't know the weight of these, but I'd have to check the box.
They're a Gun Owners of America partner, actually. What is the meaning of life?
To make my wife as mad as possible.
What is the purpose of life? There's only one answer to what is the purpose of life or what is the meaning of life. Only one answer.
Well, 42 is the answer.
Okay. And I'm going to throw in one bonus question. What would you do for a Klondike bar? That's from me.
That's an old commercial. Pay for it.
All right, guys, that is it for tonight. I want to thank Flying Rich for taking all your questions. He's been a really good sport. He is a great guy, my producer, my co-host, my booker. He does a bunch of different jobs, and you can reach him at Black Swan Media. All right, guys, that is it for tonight. Let's answer one more question since we only got one more question out there. Older than 50? How much younger than 60?
I'm 56.
56. All right, there you go. That should answer the question. We will be back tomorrow, right?
Yeah, I don't have a guest yet, or I don't know if I do.
Right, you know,
because I asked somebody to come on, I didn't check their answer.
All right, well, we'll figure that out tomorrow. We'll be on tomorrow. Thank you so much for watching this late night edition of John Crump Live, also known as Ask Flying Rich Anything. This concludes our Flying Rich Ask Me Anything, and also the Ask Me Anything for Dark, Rich, and I. So we'll maybe do other people in the future. If you guys like this format, we will do something really cool here coming up soon. Maybe talk about a big story on Monday.
Oh no!
All right, and with that, we are out of here. Thank you so much, guys. You can always follow me at johncrump.locals.com, Real John Crump on Instagram. Check out John Crump News and follow me on Twitter at CrumpySS. And with Flying Rich, you can follow him at flyingrich.com, Flying Rich on YouTube, Flying Rich on MySpace and all social media, flyingrich.locals.com, and flyingrich_official on Instagram because some jackass stole Flying Rich. And there's going to be a collab soon between Flying Rich, and Flying with Rich.
Yes.
All right, Rich. It is your turn to give us your words of wisdom to bring us out tonight.
Stay strapped, don't get clapped.
All right, that works for me. Bye.